Hey everybody, welcome back to the Overwatch Project. I haven't felt like making any videos in a while, mostly because, well, let's face it, most people are stuck on stupid or stuck in full mode. And they want to be fooled. And, there's no telling them or giving them information. That's the marvelous part of how they designed the human being for the Loosh farm, is that it really takes a immense powerful consciousness and reduces it down to such a dumb level. And most people here are so asleep and so easily fooled, and they want to be fooled, and there's no waking them up. I was thinking about, though, the few people that might be new here that could have been possibly shaken into their core. What's happened lately with this whole giant betrayal that Trojan horse reveal from the political class, where people that voted for Trump or promised so many things, and everything has, it's like one of those horror movies or one of those suspense thrillers where you're watching the whole movie and you don't realize that one of the characters is really the bad guy, or you don't know who the bad guy is, and then there's that reveal moment in the movie or the story you're reading where it gets revealed, and then you're like, holy crap, the plot twist. And you can't have a bigger plot twist for people that still believe in politics, still believe in voting and all this other trash, mindless stuff that people believe in, and have this whole thing with the e-files, this whole new concept of an Epstein class, and then there's the whole war, and the gas prices are out of control, and suddenly the guy who was giving all the speeches where he said all the right things, and in the beginning there was the Doge and everything else, and everything was like a rug that was pulled out from under everybody. And even with that, you still have people that cling to, believe in, and to all those people out there, if you ever wake up, have you ever thought about the fact that the guy that during the whole 2020 stuff was the orchestrator of Operation Warp Speed? And only through cognitive dissonance do people separate that from the vax, right? And the whole thing about the Democrats when they ran against him in 2016, 2015, 2016, and again in 2020, and even in 2024, somehow they had to have all of the ammunition that was in these e-files. They knew it all. And yet somehow the way the media did it, the way everything was portrayed, he wasn't involved, But that's not what's come out. And so some people out there, a few minority of people, have possibly stumbled onto my website or my channel, and they might be a little bit confused about everything, or maybe their reality is shaken, and or maybe they're have a recent issue with their atheism or their religion, and something isn't making any sense, and they possibly are starting to question something. A few tiny amount of people, because let's face it, you have the psychos that control everything, and they're not actually fighting each other. There's no side versus side. They're just the psycho narcissists that are trying to control our lives. They've surrounded us with surveillance. They're trying now to destroy the internet with this so-called age verification, and for the children. And just think about that for a moment, how incredibly insane it is to have the people protecting, and no arrests have been made in the e-files, telling you that they want to pass privacy invasive shit on your operating system or your phone or whatever on our technology to protect the children. I mean, if we don't live in the craziest time ever, I don't know what it could be more crazy than that. But all of this may have a few people, and this is the video I'm making for the few people that are out there that have, the ability to think for themselves and to shake off their cognitive dissonance, their programming, their religious brainwashing or their atheistic brainwashing or whatever, and actually start to question things. And I'm here to tell you that reality itself is not what you think it is. Unless you think that reality is that the human being is a designed avatar for consciousness, and its purpose is to reduce consciousness down to a very dumb level and to control it. And then when your body dies, you kind of carry that programming with you into the afterlife for a short time, but long enough for you to get interrupted, distracted with whatever religious figure you happen to believe in or whatever you happen to believe. However you can be manipulated as a human being, you'll be manipulated in the afterlife. And unless you know what's going on here, you will be fooled there. And if you just go to overwatchproject.com, you will get a sense of what reality is. Basically, a holographic universe that is created for the sole purpose of being a loosh farm or a reincarnation soul farm for energy. We are immensely powerful conscious beings, and we can be naive, we can be bored, we can be have a lack of experience, and we seek out experience and we seek out knowledge or the ability to take all the knowledge we have access to and make it make sense. And so we come across something like the Earth realm and we agree to terms of service voluntarily, and then we get caught up in an amnesia reincarnation soul recycling program, and it's very difficult to break. But keep in mind that throughout history, for thousands and thousands of recorded years of history, occasionally groups of people have figured this out, somehow even without technology. The ancient Gnostics, the Greek philosophers, the Cathars, the modern day Gnostics of today, the people like me, that I wouldn't call myself exactly a Gnostic because that has more of a religious connotation, but just a knowledge seeker that is trying to make sense of reality. And the ability to try to understand what is really going on. And just think about how many people, how much idiocy we have seen in just the last 5 to 10 years. Yeah, this is my X feed, by the way. So if you follow me on X, you will get interesting stuff. Whatever I find interesting, I retweet or resend out for people to laugh at or to look at. Anyway, so on my website, overwatchproject.com, if you're new here, just for the newbies, I'm just going to read you the welcome thing here. Overwatch Project, investigating reality. The Overwatch Project is about investigating reality without the biases and manipulations that come from established sciences and religions. And as far as I'm concerned, like science, religion, they can all be corrupted. and they all mostly are, especially religious and philosophies about morality, life, natural law. They've all been corrupted. I look at all the information and I have tried to come to conclusions that make sense without contradictions, without using cognitive dissonance. My hypothesis is that the Earth material realm, and the Earth immediate spirit realms, aka astral planes, is part of a reincarnation soul form that behaves very similar to a video game. The game of life can be addicting. It has no learning potential for souls that reincarnate here with repeated amnesia. Some souls have reincarnated here many times, possibly thousands of times. The answer to the mystery of life and the afterlife is to study this for yourself. Embrace your true individuality. Realize that there is no external authority that controls you. Authority on the earth material plane, is actually just coercion and force. It's violence, people. It's violence. And government, what we call government, which is really just organized crime, is an organization that claims a monopoly over it while telling people that violence is never the answer, while they bomb people out of existence. Authority on the earth material plane is actually coercion and force. In the spirit realm, the only your earthly baggage can fuel the illusion that you can be controlled there or contained here. If you purge all your brainwashing and programming that binds you here, there are realms out there that will not trick you into agreeing to enslave yourself. And that's how it works here. You've agreed to this for the exchange of having the experience. Same thing that when you sign away all those things that you can't read when you're buying a car, or you click agree when you agree to use an online service or an operating system or something. Nobody can read thousands of pages of legalized gibberish and fully understand what they're agreeing to. And if you read Robert Monroe's books, you can see when he meets the entry director that the agreement is accepted in a hurry without processing what he's really agreeing to. Study all you can while you have this incarnation. After your earthly avatar releases you, create your own private protective void. Everything in the astral plane is thought responsive. Once you realize you have immense power there, you can do things by simply thinking them into existence. That's why so many religions try to depower you here. They want you to surrender your individuality. They want you to surrender the thought that you are your own salvation. They desperately want you to surrender to an external authority. That's what government's all about. That's what religions are all about. That's what scientism is all about. Surrender to their authority. And then later, if they're proven wrong about something, or if they've gotten you to poison yourself with something, well, nobody's going to get punished. We're just going to wait for the next time where the masses amount of idiots and fools that we are surrounded with in this world will go along with it again. They will go along with it again. Remember this ass clown show? Do you remember this shit? If you think the morons that went along with this trash won't do it again, you don't understand people. Anyway, create your own private protected void or pocket universe. Regain yourself, basically. Use your intentions to gather the information you want unrestricted. And then by simply using your intentions, travel to wherever you want to go, to a better realm, to better realms, that don't require amnesia or surrendering yourself to some kind of slave parasite system. Be free, ascend to higher existence with your true and complete self. On my homepage, there's a lot of resources, and there's this very interesting quote from the book, The Active Side of Infinity by Carlos Castaneda. See what I mean? This stuff comes up throughout history, throughout human history. It's always suppressed. It's always made fun of, or literally people are actually killed to keep it quiet, like the Cathars. If you're like a Catholic or a Christian that doesn't know about the Cathars and what happened to them and what the Catholic Church did to them and how they burned their cities down and killed them by the millions, then perhaps you should check that out. Most people don't want to know any of this stuff. They do not want to know. But that doesn't change the fact that if you're new here, because you're one of the few tiny people that have decided to start questioning things because the world doesn't make sense to you, because what you're being told about it and what you're observing do not match. Welcome to the party, pal. Anyway, it's very empowering. Knowledge is empowerment. Even though you're stuck here temporarily and you're surrounded by fools and idiots, and if you do happen to do all this research, just be aware you cannot convince other people of anything by simply giving them information. You cannot get into arguments with people and expect to win. When you are involved in an argument with somebody, you are literally battling verbally with somebody that has an entrenched position. And you have your own entrenched position, of course. Now, either you're wrong or they're wrong, or sometimes you're both wrong. But unless you deal with your own battles internally first, like I did when I was first starting out, I was actually started off this research project to look for authentic Christianity, and look at where I ended up. I ended up here because I did my research. I realized my cognitive dissonance. I realized I had been brainwashed through from kindergarten all the way to the end of high school, which was all Catholic school. I realized that I had been processing everything through filters that were given to me by other people, and that they were corrupt, and that they were lies and misinformation, and it was all about, it didn't jive with the knowledge. On my website, you'll find a tremendous amount of source material while it lasts. Keep in mind that, who knows, maybe my website will be deemed not appropriate for children. And the people that protect the e-file clients and the e-file perpetrators, those people and their massive surveillance apparatus want to tell us what is good for the children. This is the level of fucked up fuckery and shit fuckery insanity that we live in here. There is no fixing this place because it's not broken. It's operating exactly as designed. It's not controlled by Satan. It's not controlled by whatever religion you've been given the bad boogeyman to. It is a reincarnation soul farm, a loosh farm. And the door to exit is wide open. But if you've been programmed, if you've allowed yourself to be mind controlled, then you will probably stick around. And it doesn't matter that if you stay in the earth physical plane by reincarnating here, or if you just are orbiting in the astral realms of earth, the spirit plane that's associated with earth, because they want to keep a handy crop available. That's why they have an immense hollow heavens and hollow hells and hollow realities in the astral realms. Got to keep fresh crop available for the reincarnation system. Not all consciousness here is incarnated on Earth. Some of it is just kind of stuck in the periphery, if you will. All right, that's it for today. This is a video mostly for new people, but take it easy. Check out overwatchproject.com and all the links there. You can find out all of my material is on that website. And I hope that in 2026, people can use a web browser to get to a web address. You know, an actual website that I built. Not using AI, I built it. All right, see y'all later. Bye.